Good afternoon, everyone. Double rainbow, Navan, Ireland. And speaking of rainbows and unicorns, socialist policies in Hungary, Venezuela, food producers exporting everything. Internally, calorie consumption slashed by 56%. Natural variability for rising temperatures on our Earth, blue. The over-exaggerated CO2 additions, red. Asian winter monsoon during geomagnetic pole reversals. See that yellow arrow? That's increases and decreases in ice naturally from 600,000 to 1 million years ago. No SUVs. I wonder how it warmed. And while we're dreaming and manifesting our future as a species, perhaps underground cities and vertical agriculture will be the key to our survival. And with talk of trade wars and the Fed lowering rates, talks of stock markets crashing across the global economy, contractions everywhere you look, isn't it time to consider gold or silver? Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold and silver IRA dealer. At Patriot, you work directly with an owner and avoid paying absurd broker fees. Call today to request a free investment kit below. Mention ADAPT 2030 and get a free 1-ounce silver coin just for answering a 3-minute survey. Call 1-800-778-4156 for more information or click the link in the description box below. Patriot Gold Group, free gold and silver IRA investment guides. Oh, the socialist, communist utopia, one loaf of bread for you, one for me, we're all equal. And we see the results in Hungary, Venezuela. Food producers step up exports to survive. I thought it was a bountiful harvest everywhere in socialist utopia. Nobody ever goes hungry. There's enough for everybody. But in reality, what they're finding is the shrimp farmers are now exporting almost everything to outbound countries. 90% of everything produced is off to Europe and Asia. Internally, the Venezuelans may be hungry, but they're not getting the food. A, they can't afford it, and B, it's a higher revenue export for the aquaculture and agriculture industry. So this will give us a good indication of if people are starving in your country, you will not be fed. They're going to sell the food to the highest bidder. That's probably going to be an exporting nation, importing nation. But if you don't have the funds, you're going to crawl on the street malnourished. Unless the socialist utopia will lift you up by your bootstraps. Communism, good for you, good for me. You know, they cite the reason that people can't buy food is A, price controls, which now the Venezuelan government's letting off, so it seems that there's more food coming into the supermarkets because of the restrictions being lifted. Secondly, the withering of consumer spending power at home is forcing producers to look ahead for growth. So hyperinflation, not a good thing if you want to buy food. So all that money you had in your bank, your 401s, IRA, that'd probably buy you a loaf of bread right now if it had hyperinflated like Venezuela. Your entire life's work is now a loaf of bread. Excellent policy planning, central style. Now with this hyperinflation, compared to 5 years ago, the daily calorific intake now consumed by the average Venezuelan citizen has fallen 56% to 1,600 calories. Now, the World Health Organization is recommending 2,000 to 2,500. And I love at the bottom last sentence there. Millions depend on government food handouts and subsidized staples. Now, speaking of unicorns and happy rainbows in the socialist utopias, well, not really. This is Ireland, a sane country, double rainbow here. Incredible color right at the sunset there. Navan, Ireland. And also another spectacular display of beauty in our skies. Iridescence over Mexico. And over at Armstrong Economics, Marty leaving a couple breadcrumbs here from August. Finland and Japan confirmed global warming data is not supported. And I thought, well, that's interesting because there's links right there for all the reports. Let me dive into it with you and we'll dissect it piece by piece. They're saying that the 10th of a degree contribution of CO2 is really 1/100th of a degree. So the way it's been broken down and the takeaway from at least this particular report, which is linked below, you just click and go. No experimental evidence for the significant anthropogenic climate change. What they're showing here, the blue is natural variability on cycles naturally from our Earth. The red is what the IPCC is showing with these forcing models of exaggerated effect of CO2 on our climate. Blue natural, red exaggerated IPCC. Now, which one do you think you can tax? Blue or red? And then within that report, there's a hyperlink out, intensified East Asian winter monsoon during the last geomagnetic reversal. Yellow arrow that I inserted, I think, is the most important takeaway from this graphic here. That's the amount of ice increasing or decreasing. The start date is 600,000 years ago, and then as we work our way down of increases and decreases in ice, retreat of glaciers, gain of glaciers over 450,000 years. What do you think causes the increases and decreases? I am sure there were no factories or SUVs back then. What caused the ice to melt? What caused the decreases in glaciers? Why did the glaciers even disappear? Micronova from the sun, perhaps? Cyclic patterns? And an oldie but a goodie here. Temperature versus cloudiness. Do you see the relationship there? The more clouds there are, the cooler the temperature. The less clouds there are, the warmer the temperature. Volcanic eruptions, as we've just seen, another eruption from Civilized 38,000 feet, adding in a pinch of sulfur dioxide and particulates into the atmosphere, adding into the other 8 stratospheric eruptions so far this year. Now for us, it is our reality, it's our destiny to create, to dream, to manifest. What can we come up with? I do believe in the future we're going to have to bring agriculture indoors. This is like Darren Yanku, underground cities in Turkey, yet modern style. Vertical indoor agriculture, protect our crops, living space for humanity moving forward to allow our species a chance for survival as we get into these much deeper, heavier, more powerful cycles on the multi-thousand year cyclicity. My co-author and myself, Bill Porter, talk about this in Climate Revolution, the Grand Solar Minimum, my new publication, as well as the presentation, Winter is Coming, Cycles of Change and Transition, everything intertwining into a large tapestry of how our future may unfold. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you next time.